Hello everyone. I am sure you all remember me as JavaScript hater in this community. Yes, that one. To be fair, the name reflected my hatred for the kiddies. Anyways, that's not why I am here. I am here to talk to you guys about something. Something I need to talk about regarding all of this. So, what is going on? Well, to put it simply, I am done. And you might be wondering what I mean by that. Let's just say I am done with THS community. The asterisk. I am done. I am going to take this time to do some venting. Venting about this community we call BonziWORLD. Back in the day, BonziWORLD was a great place to be. It was a great place to chill, relax, and have fun. The original .com domain was BonziWORLD during its peak asterisk. It was BonziWORLD at its PME prime. The prime of BonziWORLD came from the original .com domain. And I was in there. When the site was at its peak. But now, I simply hate this community. It all started to go downhill on the Giga domain, I think. I am pretty sure that's right. It was, I think, the first mirror domain that surfaced after the original .com domain closed. Let's just say things didn't go well. But I will let you know things. This asterisk. I used to be like those kids. I know. It's kinda hypocritical. So, who are those kids? Who are the ones that caused the slow, painful demise of BonziWORLD? Well, my friend, those are the script kiddies. The script kiddies are those kids that went around spamming JavaScript commands. It was usually commands that would fuck up, you know, the whole chat room. Sometimes even included browser messages. The thing is that these script kiddies ruined the site asterisk. And it's the reason I adopted that JavaScript H8 name. Because it was true. Now I know what you're thinking. Why am I against these people when I was just like them at one point? Well, I used to be like them because I didn't know it was bad. I was younger, okay? But I caught on rather quickly. and I became resentful of these kids. They would go around and try to ruin the experience for everyone in the room. And I was trying to keep things under control. But it never worked. I had to reload the site like a dozen times at one point to undo the effects of the commands at one point. Well, just for me. Because you know, reloading would only undo the effects for you, not for others. I remember at one point I was trying to deal with this script kid using illegal JavaScript commands and trying to tell him to stop. He didn't listen. He would just keep it up, and then he restored to JavaScript browser messages. Resorted, I mean. Basically his command was like a virus for the chat room. And I was trying to counter the JavaScript virus with JavaScript. Yes, I know. It's kinda hypocritical, but hear me out. I was using JavaScript to stop the virus. To keep it from resuming. And the guy got pissed off. So then he had the bright idea to resort to sending me a message through my web browser. It was something like, I know who you are and what you are doing. You're using JavaScript to stop the virus. One day I will crash you. I think that's how it went actually. So anyways, yeah, the script kid is really ruined the site. What these kids did was unforgivable. They were ruining the experience for users. And then, because of all of the nonsense going on surrounding these script kids, boom, the Diga domain closes. And it's the first of many casualties. Well, for the mirror domains, that is. And then we had stuff like BonziWORLD revived, and shit like that. It was a mess. The script kids ruined every spin-off and mirror site they went to. But they are not the only reason why I hate the BonziWORLD community nowadays. There's also another reason. If it weren't the script kids ruining things, it was the other users. So basically some users were just genuinely rude. like they would harass and bully other users. But most importantly, the one button they love clicking on is the asshole button. You know this? Hey, FB3 network. You're a fucking asshole. That one. They would always use this as a counter-argument. It was like, if you were trying to get someone to stop, and they wouldn't, they would just call you an asshole. Even if you did nothing wrong. Now I know it's a stupid button, and all but the genuine assholes always used this as a rebuttal. But that's not all they did. They were, just bullies. Pure bullies. They would all too often cause drama for no reason. No reason asterisk. They would always cause drama and be genuinely annoying. I know that I used the asshole button too. But it was only to those who were being the dicks. I was trying to, stop people from being rude to other users in the chat room. It was so tiring. The most notable thing is that they were just incredibly toxic. Toxic for no reason. Like, what did we even do to you? And that reminds me of a certain incident I had way back then. So basically there was this user on BonziWORLD named Lowliest. I forgot the last name of his username, but I remember his first name was Lowliest. And back in the day, Lowliest was a bad user. He was on the BonziWORLD revived domain causing drama and being rude. And then he got banned by Seamus eventually. If you don't know who he is, Seamus was the owner of BonziWORLD Revived. The top dog. The general. If you get what I mean. So back in the day I was kinda mad at Lowliest for breaking the rules. I mean, who wouldn't be? So, for a while, I hadn't thought about Lowliest, since that was basically years ago at that point. Until I started getting harassed by some of Lowliest's subscribers. It all started with this username Ben. He went and seeked out my YouTube channel. And then he scoured through my comments, and he made a reply to a video I commented on. It was a clip of classic Nickelodeon bumpers from when they first started operations in 1979. I think it was 1979. If I am wrong, please let me know. Anyways. So basically Anne replied to my comment quoting one of the bumpers. He started to harass me for hating on Lowliest even though I hadn't thought of Lowliest in ages. Yeah. And then another one of Lowliest's supporters, Ron, came in to continue the harassment and told me to GTFO. If you don't know what that means, it is internet slang for get the fuck out. Let me remind you that this was on a Nick video. In no way related to either BonziWORLD or Lowliest. But they still came in to start shit. So Anne and Ron were harassing me, and then some more users connected to the networks that Anne and Ron were a part of came in to back them up. Them asterisk. Yeah. To back up people bullying someone. And then I kinda lashed out on Anne and Ron, because, well, who wouldn't? They were simply being jerks, and I eventually lost my temper with them, and edited the comment to tell off Anne and Ron. That was a massive mistake. It only led me to get harassed and bullied even more by their supporters. And to be fair, I kinda made it worse on myself by saying Lowliest was a terrible YouTuber. But me and Lowliest made amends. I came to him upset and feeling like a horrible person, and he actually forgave me. But that still does not make up for the endless amounts of harassment I had to endure from men, Ron, and their colleagues. In fact, Lowliest was angered about this too. He actually told me that he would deal with them. And well, it seemed that it worked, because Anne and Ron left me alone after that. But still. I have a personal message to both of you, Anne and Ron. I fucking hate you. And why do I hate you? Well, you came to me to start shit by causing drama. On a Nick video. Like, come on, bro. And then you got your supporters to continue the harassment, and you wonder why I hate you. Oh, you're sorry? No, It's far too late for apologies and sympathy. You clearly aren't sorry at all. But oh, you're very sorry for harassing and bullying me. For having an opinion. Like, an opinion. If I can recall both of your names without having to even look at the comment thread or the initial comment in general, then that should tell you how much I loathe you. But let's be real here. You were all upset and butthurt that I hated lowliest back in the day, and yes, that led me to saying things I shouldn't have. But come on, all over an opinion. Like, bruh. You came to me. I did not come to you. And you wonder why I hate you? Wonder? Bro, come on. You harassed someone you don't even know on a children's video because you disagreed with them. Like, are you fucking kidding? I had to put up with so much verbal abuse from you two. It was so fucking hurtful. You two just kept harassing me and bullying me and I hated it. Like I just had a fucking opinion and yet you had to harass me over it. You know what I call people like you? Opinion bashers. You made me feel like a fucking awful person. And for that you two should be ashamed. I bet you are still out there harassing and bullying people, too. And if so, then I am not surprised in the slightest. If you two really were sorry you would have stopped. But no. You two kept at it, and were only sorry when Lowliest told you to stop himself. That's not truly being sorry. That's being sorry for getting caught. I simply fucking hate you both, and I won't ever forgive you for the shit you did to me. The fact I still remember your names, and what you did should truly tell you that. And if you don't remember a thing, I have proof. I have the screenshots. I have photos taken of everything you two said to me. And these replies are probably still on that comment, and are probably still publicly available. Still asterisk. But the thing is, I have proof of you two harassing me. Now and Ron, even though I won't ever forgive you, I sincerely hope you two have improved yourselves and improved your behavior. But anyways. Still doesn't mean I don't hate you. Because I do. For what you did. And you two are the reason that I quit BonziWORLD for an extended period of time back then. So yeah. To put it simply, fuck you both, but please take this seriously and realize that you two have done unforgivable things. That is, if you're even watching this. So yeah, to put it simply, the harassment was out of control in the community. And if you get on their bad side, they like to declare muted whenever they mute you. It's like, wow, okay, then you didn't have to make it publicly known. Just mute them and move it on. Move on, I mean. Mean asterisk. Like just move on, you muted them, you don't have to tell them publicly. And to be fair, I used to do this as well. Again, I was younger. I have matured a lot since then. So yeah. And then you had those annoying ass trends that some community members would always do. The most prolific one was the BonziWORLD Reacts trend. So if you aren't aware, a user would put up a chat message saying, BonziWORLD reacts to insert video name here, and then play the corresponding video for the chat room. It was like a classic reaction, but for BonziWORLD's users. But the stupid part is the person who did the BonziWORLD reacts things can't react to it themselves. Why? Because if you chat something else with the video playing, the YouTube embed is removed and replaced with the new chat message. So everyone else can react normally. Not the person making the reaction video. It only got annoying when the users started making BonziWORLD reactions of BonziWORLD reacts to videos. I am dead. Fucking serious. BonziWORLD reacts to videos. Of BonziWORLD reacts to videos. I am not kidding. Look it up. It got so annoying. Especially since the user doing the reaction video, again, has to announce the reaction in the chat room first then play it. And if it's a BonziWORLD reacts to the BonziWORLD reacts to, then yeah, it started to get repetitive. Repetitive. Yeah, that. Anyways. So yeah, basically they'd repeat BonziWORLD reacts to over and over again until they got to the actual video being reacted to by the original BonziWORLD users of the original BonziWORLD reacts to video. So basically here's a sample of what that would be like. Not a real vid by the way. Just using it as an example. BonziWORLD reacts to BonziWORLD reacts to BonziWORLD reacts to BonziWORLD reacts to BonziWORLD reacts to. Insert video name here. I am serious. and then they'd obviously play the video in question. And then guess what? You have to hear BonziWORLD reacts over and over again in the video until the original reaction is heard. So basically you have to wait until it gets to the first BonziWORLD reacts to. It was so annoying. It was ridiculous. But anyways. Another stupid trend was the hacks themselves. They were mostly performed by script kiddies. It always involved fucking up the chat room and making it unbearable for other users. But there were also these chat box viruses. So basically this hack works like this. The JavaScript is executed, and then the user being targeted starts spamming whatever the JavaScript says over and over. And it would usually involve saying hacked by or beamed by. to let the user know they've been quote-unquote hacked. Not actually hacked, but you get the gist of it. That reminds me of something from the original BonziWORLD domain. I was on BonziWORLD one day, and then this hacker came on with the alias of 6996. This other poor user in the chat room then kept getting targeted by this hacker, and his username changed to 6996 as well. He tried to chat himself to stop the hacks, but they persisted, and they kept on coming. At one point there was multiple 6996 clones. Probably used by the hacker. Oh yeah, since another 6996 user always came in before the victim was targeted again. And what's even worse is that the user tried reloading his tab multiple times, and the hack still continued. Poor guy couldn't catch a break. I felt so bad for HM. Him I mean. Mean asterisk. I believe the hacks also involved the victim being forced to spam allegedly a YouTube embed. but I can't remember for sure. Anyways, this kept going for about an hour or two before another user named 6996 came into the chat. He said, I am the creator of 6996, and then allegedly revealed his actual username/alias. And then he just left. That was the first and last time I ever saw the 6996 hack. The poor guy was just getting repeatedly targeted, and I felt so bad for him. But I digress. The point is that the hacks always involved the experience being ruined for users. But the 6996 hack was from the original .com domain. Way before the Diga domain came into existence. Regarding the hacks on the future domains after the original closed, it was a nightmare. Most of the time the hacks were always chat box spam. Colors being fucked up. And most notably, ear rape. Yet some of the audio of these JavaScript commands were loud as fucking hell. It's a good thing I wasn't wearing headphones back in the day. Wearing asterisk. Otherwise my ears would have hurt like hell. And there was always that one hack that constantly made users spam the nonsense word, meh. What does it even mean? I don't know. The point is that this hack always made users spam it. Over. And over. Again. If you need an idea, here's an example of this. Meh 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 meh. That's pretty much it. So you'd go around doing this. Meh 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 meh. Luckily this BonziWORLD mirror domain doesn't do all of the mehs. I guess they patched it out. But it was so annoying. And another one of these stupid trends came from another website. This website is, or was, called GoAnimate. If you don't know what GoAnimate is, it was a website where users could make their own videos. The site eventually got ruined with all of the letter groups and grounded videos that came out of it. as well as asterisk, as well as some other trends. The one I am thinking of is the ranting trend. GoAnimate had this lazy trend where users would make rants. But not true rants. It's not the ranting I have a problem with. It's the way they rant that I do in fact I have problem with. Do in fact have asterisk. So the way they rant is, for lack of a better term, lazy. You might be asking yourself what makes them lazy. Well, the rant goes like this. It starts off WTH, the name of the thing being ranted on, and then they turn the name of the thing being ranted on into a bad term. So for example, BonziWORLD, more like Baddie World. Stuff like that. And then they describe who is in the material being ranted on, and that they like to go on failure adventures. but I don't think the BonziWORLD variants of these rants used that part. And then they go on to say that no one likes the content, and that everyone actually hates it. So like this. Do you know who likes BonziWORLD? No one. And do you know who hates BonziWORLD? The whole planet. It's like no dude. That is absolutely not true. Yes, the content may have haters. But to say everyone or the entire planet hates it is demonstrably wrong. And then it always ends off with end of rant. I am not like those people. I've been venting about BonziWORLD for well over an hour and 30 minutes now, and I have never used this ranting style once apart from the examples you've just heard. But anyways, this ranting style carried over into the BonziWORLD community. And yeah, it, of course, led to BonziWORLD ranting videos in this style. And it came from the Go Animate community. It was a very stupid trend. Especially since it came from another community that the internet is not a fan of. and it led to rants on, well, anyone. The one I remember the most, the one I hate remembering the most, in fact, is this one rant that a user published onto their Google Drive. This rant was basically a rant on the creator of BonziWORLD. So, if you don't know, the original site's creator had closed down BonziWORLD a few years ago because of the fact they were taking on other responsibilities and they needed time to themselves. Responsibilities I mean asterisk. So basically stuff like probably going to college. And I don't think they were going to be able to keep a meme site running for this long while they were taking care for far more important things. Well taken care of. But you get what I mean. The username of the creator of the site was Joseph14078. And Joseph closed down the site for pretty explainable and reasonable reasons. But unfortunately for some, they didn't take this news well. A user of the BonziWORLD community then posted this rant to their Google Drive that was essentially a rant on Joseph14078, the creator of BonziWORLD. Basically, they were ranting about the fact he closed down the site due to his time being taken up for far more important things needing to get done. Like, again, going to college. And well, the creator of this rant basically treated Joseph like he was evil. Even though he literally created the site. It was so dumb. So dumb asterisk. So dumb. Ranting on someone for closing down something they created because of the fact they are, well, pretty MCH maturing. It's so stupid. Younger me was upset by the closure announcement, too, but I understood Joseph 14078 was maturing, and he was moving on to the next chapter of his life. But not this user. He ranted on Joseph because of it. This is just like when Alvin Hung was ranted on by his own users for removing non-business themes from GoAnimate because of them being incompatible with HTML5, and that Alvin didn't want any legal trouble. I mean, Comedy World is literally just Family Guy. So yeah, basically the creator was ranted on for closing down his creation because of far more important things. And what's even funnier is that not too long later the mirror site started coming shortly after the original .com domain closed, starting with the Diga domain. So the site wasn't really shut down. It was moved. But unfortunately this user treated Joseph pretty horribly. I still think it is one of the worst Go Animate style rants I have ever seen. And I hate that ranting style in general. So the fact that you're considered one of the worst is definitely not a compliment from me. So yeah. Needless to say, that rant was just stupid all around. Maturing is a thing. I don't understand how people don't understand this. Like, they got older. Things changed for them. And yes, sadly, they'll have to make some changes that result in them abandoning things that they grew up with. And for Joseph, that meant BonziWORLD. Don't blame him. And yeah, by the way, Joseph, I hope you're doing alright these days. Anyways, that's pretty much all of the trends I consider to be major that I can recall. There might be more of them. Who knows? But yeah, to put it simply, these trends were awful. Especially the hacking and ranting ones. And there were also problematic users in the community doing unspeakable things. I don't wanna go into detail about these things for obvious reasons. But here's what I can say. So basically, there was this user of BonziWORLD. Believe his name was Anut. He was a very problematic member of the BonziWORLD community and had been banned from multiple BonziWORLD sites many times. Pretty much the whole community hated him. So, then, Onut decided to open up his own BonziWORLD instance. Anut, I mean. But yeah. So Anut opens up his own instance, and yeah. So we were all cool, another BonziWORLD mirror. We're like asterisk. But the thing is that Anut was, again, a bad user. And his BonziWORLD instance was bad for a very bad reason. So basically the instance looks good on the outside. It was just that. BonziWORLD. Nothing too suspicious. But then we had some whistleblowers come in and tell us what was really going on at BonziWORLD instance. This instance was an IP grabber. Yep. Not kidding. Anut opened up his own BonziWORLD instance that would then steal people's IP addresses and essentially dox them. So basically we were told to not go on Anut's instance. And well, yeah. I can see why. So basically Anut was now doxing people at this point with his own BonziWORLD instance, which I believe was operated on his local host. It didn't take long for Anut's instance to shut down. But that doesn't make up for the fact that people's IP addresses got leaked by Anut. Addresses asterisk. I have no idea what happened with the people who did in fact get doxed. But all I can say is that I hope these people are okay and safe. There's a whole bunch of other shit Anut did that I don't wanna get into, but I wanted to tell you about this one in particular. Anut was a very horrible person. I don't know what Anut is up to these days, but I seriously hope he's turned his life around. And props to the whistleblowers for sounding the alarm on this matter. Y'all are goats. And last, but definitely not least, the whole vibe of the site has changed. It is no longer a funny meme chat room where you can hang out with people and be silly. It is now a platform for some of the most despicable people in the world. Again, going back to Anut, he literally doxed countless numbers of people. And then, Andranar, again, two people I know by heart from how much they hated my guts. BonziWORLD is now a platform where bad and terrible people hang out. It's no longer a funny joke chat room like Joseph originally intended it to be. It is now just unhinged. And because of Father, there are so little redeeming qualities about the platform. But there are some I can note. Note asterisk. There are some funny commands, and some people on BonziWORLD are incredibly friendly and / or silly. A notable command I know of is the /b command. Back in the day, if you typed this command in, BonziWORLD would then begin to recite the entire B-movie script. And there are also commands where your Bonzi goes on rambles about Linux and himself as well. But even though there are redeeming factors, the negatives outweigh the positives. And this new iteration IAM has added features like image uploading, and even the ability to create polls. I am on asterisk. But there are way too many bad things associated with BonziWORLD that I just can't recommend it. If you're looking for a funny chat room to go on, then I would recommend you just download Discargo and patch it with your MSN Messenger client. Then you can go and nudge people like the good old days. As for BonziWORLD, I just can't recommend it at all. Especially since way too much horrible shit has happened in the community. and it is a community I don't wanna be a part of any longer. Yep, I am serious about this. This community has done too much harm to me. In fact, I regret ever being a part of it. With all of this drama and all of these horrible things happening in the community, I don't wanna be a part of it, and it's something I no longer want to associate myself with or be associated with. Yes, there have been memories made on this website, some of them being good memories that I will cherish and hold on to. But most of the memories I made on BonziWORLD are bad memories. You know, the ones you want to forget about. And this website. No, this community is full of them. Which is why I am doing something I should have done a long fucking time ago. As of today, I am done with BonziWORLD. And I mean that. And you're wondering what I mean by done, I am assuming. Well, let's just say I won't be back. Yes, I am here to announce that I am going to be permanently distancing myself from the BonziWORLD community, and I will be leaving BonziWORLD forever and not coming back. I am not going to be returning to the community in any way, shape, or form. I am cutting ties with BonziWORLD permanently. And that means that this video is my last BonziWORLD video ever. You will not see me on BonziWORLD again. And why am I distancing myself? Because of the community. You see, when Joseph first launched BonziWORLD, he only intended it to be a silly joke website, where you could chat with people as your favorite talking purple gorilla. But now, it's a cesspool, where the worst of the worst hang out. I was there when BonziWORLD was still in its prime. It was still fun, and people were actually, well, humans and not complete fucking creatures. Compare that to the BonziWORLD of today. Good fucking lord. BonziWORLD started to fall off when the .com domain closed. The downhill trend started on Diga. And then it only got worse from there. And let me tell you, I really regret all of this. You know that one video I made, where I trolled BonziWORLD users with a JavaScript command that was basically a bunch of WWE Bonzi clones repeating, WWE is scripted, over and over in front of the new Bonzi. I regret doing that. In fact, it's the only JavaScript troll I ever did before learning to hate script kiddies. So I started out as a script kiddie myself. But I learned quickly and stopped doing that shit ASAP. If there is one thing I am proud of during my time in this community, it's gotta be this one video I made a while back. Basically it was a car chase skit I made with multiple tabs opened. Each tab was a different Bonzi account. And I had to play as all the actors. But it was fun. Enjoyable. Actually fun to work on. And then the whole N and Ron shit happened, and I left BonziWORLD for a good long while. And I've been away from BonziWORLD for quite some time as it is. But I am making my departure official. Notice how I didn't use my JavaScript HTTP username. I instead used my actual YouTube account name. Because it's a sign I am done. And well, there's also another reason. Besides all of the shit I already talked about. The other reason is because I grew up, matured, I picked a deep voice for this Bonzi because I wanted you to tell that I have, in fact, gotten older. And when you get older, you start to, you know, abandon things. Which is exactly what I am doing. And unlike the reason Joseph 14,078 left, the reason I am leaving is because I am getting too old for this. And the other reason, all of the drama and bad or horrible behavior that has gone on in the community for years. I don't wanna associate myself with a community with a bad reputation like this. And I am sure you don't want to, either. So I believe distancing myself from this community will be a better choice for me in the long run. I have been venting for well over 2 hours now, but I am glad I was able to get all of this off of my chest. It has taken a huge weight off of my shoulders. So yeah, it's official. As of today, I am leaving the community forever. I am not coming back. And if you have a problem with that, then maybe you should take a harder look at the community. Maybe asterisk. This community is not something you should be a part of. And it's something I won't be a part of any longer. I have no idea what else to say. I think I've said all I needed to. So, with all that out of the way, I am done. Completely done. This will be the last time you see me on BonziWORLD. And it will the last BonziWORLD video you see on my channel. Ever. So yeah. I am done here. I have wasted way too much time here already, and I just wanna get off of this BonziWORLD mirror site already so I can make my departure fully official. So that is gonna be it for this. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye BonziWORLD. And good fucking riddance.